Who Grew My Soup? Written by Tom Darbyshire, illustrated by C.F. Payne. This book was underwritten by the Campbells Soup Company in hopes that children of all ages will learn to love to eat their vegetables. A boy of age 10 named Phineas Quinn was out playing ball when his mom called him in. "It's lunchtime," she said. "Here's something nutritious." This instantly made young Finn Quinn most suspicious. "It's yummy," she said, with a smile brightly beaming, as she gave him a bowl of soup gently steaming. Finn looked down and thought, "Yuck, it's vegetable gunk. The foods I prefer are the foods she calls junk. Fake colors and flavors, delicious and dandy. They're in all my favorite sodas and candy. Chemical additives, yum, they're the best. The snack foods I crave are preserved and processed. I like stuff that's deep fried and loaded with sugars. But vegetable soup? Yikes, I'd rather eat boogers. This looks too healthy. I bet it tastes icky." So Finn hatched a plan, and oh boy, was it tricky. "I'll eat it," said Finn. "Yes, I'll happily do it, as soon as you're able to tell me who grew it." "Like you always tell me," said Phineas Quinn. "Don't put that in your mouth. You don't know where it's been. These veggies might come from some weird far-off land, like outer Bungolia or distant Estan. They might come from places like North Lost Mandoon or Timbuktu Far or West Hinterloon. Who grew these carrots? Who grew these tomatoes? These beans, this barley, this corn, these potatoes? Who sprouted this spinach? Who planted these peas? And who picked this celery? Tell me now, please. I'll not take one sip of this vegetable soup unless you tell me this. Who grew my soup?" While Finn thought himself oh so terribly clever, he'd never had guessed what came next. Never, ever. His eyes popped, his jaw dropped, he fumbled his spoon. From the sky came a flying tomato balloon. The pilot in goggles was shouting hello from a rather large cooking pot hanging below. "Hop in! Hurry up! Climb aboard! Tally-ho!" "Where are we going?" Finn asked, most alarmed. "We're going," the man said, "to where soup is farmed. I'm Mr. Matoo, Chief Soup Supervisor, and we won't come back until you're super wiser. Our trip won't take long, not at all, no indeed. This balloon can achieve supersonical speed." As soon as he said it, they flew away, zoom, with a whoosh and a whirl and a big sonic boom. Finn summoned his courage. He took a look down and found they were already back on the ground. "Finn, meet Farmer Hitchner. Hitchner, meet Finn. Mr. Hitchner's the farmer whose field we are in. These carrots, this field, and this farm are all his. Hitchner's a genius, super-growing whiz." "What carrots?" asked Finn as he looked all around. "They're down here," said Hitchner. "They're grown underground." "They grow in the dirt?" Young Finn nearly gagged. "Gee, I've only seen them in stores, washed and bagged." Hitchner took hold of a green carrot top, tugged, turned, and twisted and pulled it out. Pop! The most beautiful carrot the world's ever known, more perfect than any that's ever been grown. "A superstar carrot," Matoo said. "Can't beat it. So here's an idea. I'll wash it, you eat it." Finn would rather eat cooties, but being polite, he knew he had no choice. He must take a bite. So he tried just a nibble, the smallest of munches, and soon he was making great bunches of crunches. "Hey, this isn't bad. This carrot's incredible. It's sweet, what a treat. Say, this root is quite edible." "There's something in carrots," said Mr. Matoo, "that is good for your eyesight, amazing and true. I eat them quite often. My vision is great. I see at this moment that we're running late. A toodle-doo, Hitchner, come on, Finn, let's go. We've more places to see where more super veggies grow." It seemed that no sooner than they'd left the ground, they'd crossed 17 states and were dropping back down in a field of tomatoes, all ripe, red, and round. "Finn, Meet Farmer Perez. His thumbs are quite green. The tomatoes he grows are the best ever seen. This is delicious, nodded young Finn, as red, ripe tomato juice ran down his chin. Oh, good, super-duper, cried Mr. Matoo. Superlative. Come on, we've got lots more to do. Farm to farm, field to field, whiz, whiz, whiz through the sky. From onions so fine they could make a man cry, to potatoes, to peas in the blink of an eye. They stalked the best celery, they got to know beans, and they met growers who know how to grow greener greens. Matoo gave a cheer at the end of the day. These farmers deserve a hip, hip, hooray. They're all superheroes. They're all great, super great. They grow the best soup anyone ever ate. But it's time to go home now, said Mr. Matoo. You have your answers. My work here is through. And then, just like that, Finn was back in his chair, and the big bowl of soup steaming hot was still there. Guess I'll try it, said Phineas Quinn. So he opened his mouth and he spooned some soup in. He swallowed, he sighed, he knew he'd been beaten. The soup was the best thing he had ever eaten. Finn said, Hey, how come you've never had this before? His mom, she just laughed. Then she served him some more. So if you are someone who thinks soup is scary, if facing a bowl makes you worried and wary, take some soup in your spoon, put the spoon to your lips, and then say these words right out loud between sips. Who grew my soup? That's what I'd like to know. Who grew my soup? That's where I'd like to go. And a souped-up balloon might drop down from the blue with a friendly old fellow named Mr. Matoo, who will take you aboard and then zoom off with you. It might not, but still, either way, any day you eat soup is a super good day. If you rearrange the letters of the name Matoo, you'll find they spell the name of the first soup Campbell's ever made more than 100 years ago. And remember, almost everything starts on a farm. The end.